I would like to invite IAS State Project Director Gujarat, Shri Ranjeethkumar. As a host, we have high expectations from Rajasthan. So everyone who's from Rajasthan, you're the host. So you have to welcome with utmost enthusiasm. Let's welcome now State Project Director Himachal Pradesh, Shri Rajesh Sharma. And Shri Vikas Aggarwal, Partner Consulting, Ernst and Young LLP. Our chair for this session is Shri Vikas Gupta. Over to our chair.
Namaskar and a very good noon to all the distinguished delegates, colleagues from the central and state governments, representatives from industry, academia, development partners, and member of the larger education system. It is a pleasure to be part of the discussion on digital interventions to enhance access and quality of school education in the country. Education has always been one of the India's most important national building commitments. Over the decades, our collective efforts have focused on expanding access, building schools, strengthening teacher capacity, and ensuring that every child has an opportunity to participate in the educational journey. These efforts have transformed the educational landscape and created new opportunities for millions of learners across the country. Today, the conversation has evolved. As India moves towards the vision of Viksit Bharat in 2047, our focus is increasingly on ensuring that every learner acquires the knowledge, skills, and competencies required to thrive in a rapidly changing world. The learners sitting in our classrooms today will shape the India of tomorrow, and the quality of learning they receive today will determine how prepared they are for the opportunities and challenges of the future. This aspiration lies at the heart of the Nation Education Policy 2020, which calls for a shift from rote learning towards critical thinking, creativity, problem solving, adaptability, and lifelong learning. At its core, the NEP is about preparing learners not just for examinations, but for life. At the same time, the transformation must be inclusive and equitable. India's school education system is among the largest in the world, serving nearly 25 crore students through 15 lakh schools and more than 1 crore teachers. Yet what makes our system truly unique is not merely its size, but its diversity. Whether it is a school in a tribal district in Odisha, a village in Arunachal Pradesh, a hilly region of Uttarakhand, a coastal area in Kerala, or a bustling city like Bangalore or Delhi, the context in which our schools operate can be remarkably different. The diversity reminds us that there can be no one-size-fits-all approach to educational transformation. Our challenge, therefore, is to create enabling ecosystems that allow innovation, adaptation, and contextual solutions while ensuring that every learner and every teacher has access to quality opportunities regardless of geography. This is where technology becomes an important enabler. Our objective is not merely to digitize existing processes, but to leverage technology to improve learning, strengthen educational governance, and expand opportunities at scale. This understanding has shaped India's approach to educational technology. Rather than viewing technology as a collection of standalone applications, we have focused on building digital public infrastructure for education, open, interoperable, and inclusive platforms that can be adapted, and scaled by states and other stakeholders. Importantly, this approach recognizes that while the vision may be shared, innovation often happens closest to the classroom. Across the country, states and union territories are leveraging technology in a diverse ways, whether to support teaching learning processes, strengthen governance, improve assessments, empower teachers, or explore the responsible use of emerging technologies. These experiences demonstrate that meaningful digital transformation is ultimately about solving educational challenges and improving outcomes for learners. As we enter the age of artificial intelligence, the opportunities before us are immense. At the same time, important questions demand our collective attention, on which we will be discussing, and my fellow panelists will be talking about that. How do we ensure that technology reduces inequalities rather than deepens them, particularly in context of access, quality, and learning outcomes? How do we ensure that digital interventions remain evidence-based, inclusive, and learner-centric? And how do we prepare our children not only to use emerging technologies, but also to engage with them creatively, responsibly, and thoughtfully? These are not questions that one institution can answer alone. They require collaboration between governments, educators, researchers, industry, civil society, and wider ecosystem. I am confident that today's discussion will provide valuable insights and practical lessons from the field, helping us collectively shape the next phase of India's educational journey. With this spirit, I look forward to hearing the experiences and perspectives of our distinguished panelists and fellow speakers. Thank you very much. And one small thing, since I've been asked to moderate this session as not as a speaker, so I will be moderating. But regarding what KV has done, my fellow officer Manoj Pandey will be talking about that, what KV has done in this journey in last. So I will first invite Shri Ranjeethkumar, State Project Director, Gujarat, to talk about the G-Shala, that how can an application which is platform neutral can enable the students and can transform the learning outcomes in the classroom. Ranjeet, please.
Very good morning, guests on the dais and off the dais, and friends. Yes. I'm going to present the G-Shala application of Gujarat government. The Gujarat government's intervention to strengthen the government schools by providing smart classrooms and ICT labs and enhancing the equitable access to the digital resources. The G-Shala, that stands for Gujarat Students Holistic Adaptive Learning App. This is, as sir rightly said, it is system. This is platform agnostic, device agnostic. One can access anytime, anywhere. One can access anytime, anywhere across smartphone, tablets, laptops, desktops, and smart classroom devices. And it is compatible with Android, iOS, Windows, and web browsers, so that the students can have the uniform learning experience. It is in bilingual, Gujarati and English. As we know, various linguistic needs of various people, we need English also. That's why we have kept English. In the vast content library, we have many kinds of animated videos, e-books, interactive assessment modules, then question banks. All are NEP compliant. It is as per the learning outcome based. It is competency based also. It supports formative assessments. So whenever the students they study, they can get the conceptual clarity, and also the system will give the response and inferences to the students. That generally the students always find it difficult to understand the abstract concepts. So they have made as the lifelike animations and simulations, so that they are kept curious and their knowledge retention is ensured. Actually, we have digitized all the textbooks of all the standards from 1st standard to 12th standard. There are 1,500 chapters of the curriculum, and 6,000 plus animated videos are there. And we have gamified the syllabus as per the NEP LO based, so that the students are very much enthused. So in case of gamification, matching, drag and drop, true or false, fill in the blank kind of things are featured. So this robust outcome-based question banks have the support of the continuous practice, assessment, and improved learning outcomes. This G-Shala, that digital learning, that this features the consistency between the classroom teaching and the digital learning and student assessments. The e-books, they are available in PDF. It can be accessed in multiple devices and reducing the dependence on the printed books. The reference materials, it is highly curated, and it has the supplementary resources for both the students and the teachers. The instructor-led videos, they are having guided instructions, which is compared to the NEP. Then teacher preparatory module. In that, we are giving the lesson plan preparation module, and with how the classroom delivery can be done like that. Even the whole syllabus is divided into the duration, in the equal durations, so that they can execute it properly. The salient feature of this G-Shala is that we can monitor both in the state level and the district level, in the school level. Even each and every teacher can have the digital tools, that monitoring tools, to assess the learnings of the students and the learning gaps, and they can decide the remedial classes accordingly. This analytics, it tracks the frequency and the pattern of contents usage and learning preferences and engagement levels. This monitoring and analytics tools, these tools are helping them in finding out the strengths, learning gaps, and improvement areas. Supports teachers with data-driven feedback for targeted remediation and personalized instruction. In order to help the digital infrastructure, the government has given the Gyankunj project. In the Gyankunj project, every schools are given with the smart classrooms and with the G-Shala e-content. That's the smart boards are the 65-inch interactive flat panel. It is given with the laptop. Generally, the smart classrooms are standalone systems. But what we have done is, it is linked up with the laptop, so that the teachers can go home, they can do homeworks, they can bring back the laptop. So the smart classes working along with the interactive panel. There is the advantage of this system. We are having more than 1 lakh classrooms in the whole state. The Gyankunj project, that smart interactive panels, they would be helping the teachers to teach the things. When the students, when they want to do by themselves, for self-learning, we have provided the ICT lab. Every school with 300 of strength, they are given with one computer lab, where 15 computers are given with 30 chairs. That means in each and every session, 30 students can be accommodated. So far, we have given 19,900 computer labs in the whole state. In that G-Shala, there are 32 lakhs and above students are enrolled with this. It is from the first standard to 12th standard, but effectively we are focusing from the 6th standard to 12th standard. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, Ranjeet, for interesting presentation. And since you have mentioned that this platform is already up and running in across all the schools in Gujarat, so what are your future plans for this? That how it is going to shape up in future? What additional features it might have that may help in improving the learning outcomes?
Sir, when we see the inclusive education, we have given the e-books for the vision impaired students, and for the hearing impaired, that audio books for visually impaired, for the same thing. That thing is there. Then, sir, we are consistently upgrading the things.
So that's as per the need basis.
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much. So our next speaker is from state of Himachal Pradesh, and Himachal Pradesh is one of the first states who has brought in this Vidya Samiksha Kendra framework in actual implementation. We all know that this is an era of data, and then we are generating huge quantities of data across all aspects of the life. Generating data is one thing, but bringing out intelligence from that data is altogether different, which state of Himachal has done. I would like to request Shri Rajesh Sharma ji, State Project Director from Himachal Pradesh, to talk about the VSK journey in Himachal. Whatever you feel like. You have presentation.
It's all right. Thank you. Thank you very much, sir, and I'm really grateful to the organizer that they gave us a chance to be here and to make a presentation of journey of educational landscape of Himachal. For the for the information of our audience here and the August gathering here, I want to apprise that Himachal came into existence in 1971, and we quickly we were doing very good in the last decade of the last century. We were among first 5 or 6 schools across the country. As Amartya Sen in his book India in Development, he himself mentioned in 2003 and 4 that the journey of Himachal was glorious. We were neck to neck with Kerala and the best performing states in the country at that point of time. But then down the lane, when we we got feedback from the National Achievement Survey in 2021 and the other reports which came through USERS and the PGI report from the national level, where we were shown, we were actually at the 21st position across the country. So that was the time when, we started, doing some kind of, introspecting ourselves that what has really gone wrong. And that point of time, we did not have the kind of data required to figure out the reasons for those downfall of educational landscape of Himachal Pradesh. And then I think I'm really grateful to the government of Himachal Pradesh, Department of School Education, that they started this project of setting up of Vidya Samiksha Kendra across the country. And we were the 4th state, Himachal, when it came to the setting up of Vidya Samiksha Kendra. In the journey of, it came in 2023. And we, try to figure out that what really went wrong. with the Himachal Pradesh when it comes to the performance of students, the learning outcomes of the students, and what we call the quality of the students across the state of Himachal Pradesh. And I think, we have this first mover advantage that we could establish the 6 A's through the Vidya Samiksha Kendra, which were, in a position to give us the exact insight of the gaps in the learning outcomes of the student of Himachal Pradesh. And we realized that, over the period from 2002 to 23, we lost 40% to 50% student of the government school in favor of the private school. And our numbers in the school went really down. The scale of economy in terms of the resource applications in the school has really gone down at that point of time. And then we realized what to do. And we quickly, try to assess these 6 A's, which were the, parameters of Vidya Samiksha Kendra, for which the government of India actually gave us a grant. And these 6 A are nothing but, we try to map the access of our student through the attendance on the bot. And now, for your information, our everyday students in attendance comes every day at 10 o'clock, through Vidya Samiksha Kendra. And that has gone to 95%. So that is one thing which we have done. The second part was very, very critical for any educational landscape, and that's assessment. And assessment, we try to figure out through the VSK. And we went, through 3 exams in the state of Himachal called state, assessment exam through Vidya Samiksha Kendra. And what we did there that was probably the game changer for the state of Himachal Pradesh. When we went to the students, we went through Vidya Samiksha Kendra on OCR and OMR sheets to the students. And we try to assess these students on the boards in the Vidya Samiksha Kendra. And we could assess them without losing much of time, as the NAS comes after 4 years. Even ASR comes every year, but it comes, with a very small statistics. So what we did, that we did a slash, and a slash gave us that the NAS kind of questions the NAS ask. When National Achievement Survey is done, that's most of the questions are the competence-based questions. And we were still doing the rote learning questions in the state of Himachal Pradesh. So that's one insight we were given. And then what we did, we tried to train teachers to design the questions which are on the competence-based questions. And then, it is not easy that, going to 14,000 school, giving trainings to all the teachers, sensitizing students how to take these exams on assessment which come through the NAS. But the first result of the state level assessment test which we conducted in the state of Himachal, the results were not very encouraging from the 2021 results of NAS. So that was not encouraging. But then we again, try to figure out at the state level that what is the reason. And again, we went in the second exam, and we find that at the foundational level, the students are not, used to the OCR sheet, OMR sheets, how to take these exams. So we actually went to every school in the state of Himachal at the foundational level, and again at the elementary level, and also at the secondary level. And then the second test of slash was done, which has given us a good results. And then third time, before the NAS happened in 2024, we went third time in the state of Himachal and took this exam. And this was only possible, when I'm talking of the assessment which is now coming through the Vidya Samiksha Kendra, we did the state level assessment test where the Vidya Smiksha Kendra has played very, very important role. And what happened that Himachal from 21st place at the foundational level came at the second place, where we have beaten Kerala, which came at the third place. Talking about the elementary level, we were at the fifth place in the country. Talking of the secondary level, we came at the fourth place in the country. So we actually were the top 5 positions when it came to the National Achievement Survey 2024. So what I'm trying to tell you is that sometime in a social sector like education, which is where the graduation period comes, toward the end of every year. But then, what has really gone wrong over the period of time to figure out becomes very, very difficult. And these statistics and through these kind of tools like Vidya Smiksha can help us on these things. And that is what I try to, tell here, that when you have the kind of right statistics with you, these statistics are analyzed in a right fashion, then we come to know the gaps. And these gaps, then you try to, do some kind of, bridge up these gaps and try to overcome. And that is how in 2024, NAS position, Himachal came among, first 5 states in the country. After it was, it was 21 place in 21st NAS result. So that's the second part of it. Now, adaptive learning is very, very important tool in the Vidya Smiksha Kendra. And what is adaptive learning? Because when there is a class of 40, in a particular school, the teacher is really trying to figure out where his students, stands in terms of the subject. And this adaptive learning can help us out. Himachal has done this adaptive learning in 2 ways. One was through the LEP and one was the personalized adaptive learning. Personal adaptive learning has been the game changer for the state of Himachal. And even LEP, where in the far-flung areas, we don't have that kind of infrastructure spots. Though, let me apprise everyone here, when it comes to the infrastructure of ICT, smart classroom, or other things, we are 95% saturated in Himachal Pradesh. But still, there are places where we are short of this, or there are less these smart classrooms in the state of Himachal. There we have, done it through the LEP. And what this, LEP has done, we have worked out a personalized books for every student in Himachal Pradesh. So there are 14,000 of school, 9 lakh of students, they have a personalized book on every subject. And the students know, if a student of class 7th, if he or she is not doing the maths of class 5th, then he is to be brought those personalized adaptive books to the class 9th. So that is what is being done through the LEP. And on the PAL, there we have, the technology has helped us, where our schools have enough of these, IT resources available. This gaps of, their learning outcomes has been made possible through the technology. So that is what it has been done. There is a robust, mechanism of monitoring of Vidya Smiksha Kendra. And what we have done is accreditation of all the schools of Himachal Pradesh. That includes the private school, and it is on our website of the state of Himachal. So 14,000 school, primary vis-a-vis primary, elementary vis-a-vis elementary, and secondary vis-a-vis secondary, on the basis of the SCOF and the data is available on the Vidya Smiksha Kendra. All schools know what is their ranking, vis-a-vis other schools. So 14,000 schools, Every school knows where they stand in terms of infrastructures, in terms of the quality of education, in terms of the PTR and other critical aspects of the educational landscape. So that's all about Himachal, sir.
Thank you, Rajesh ji, for giving insights about the implementation of VSK in Himachal. One question which I will like to ask, that how are you able to integrate the various data sets associated with not only education or lying within the education department, but across the departments to improve the educational outcomes?
Sir, first I'll talk within the educational landscape. So what we have done is all kind of resources on the digital platform, like the smart classrooms, I said, the ICTs or other kind of a gadgets, even the books, sir. So the state government was not aware of what was happening to these gadgets in the classroom, whether teachers are putting these gadgets to the use or not. But after the API integration of all these, digital resources across the state, API integration with the VSK, we at the state level know that a particular school, the bioscience teacher has not used this particular device, not even once. So that is where, we take a very robust monitoring system where the secretary, the minister many a times takes every month meeting, and these presentations are done, and we actually, the district level officers are there. So that helps us. Now talking about how the other departments, so there are data which are coming from the UDICE, which talks about the, all kind of resources available, and that comes from Government of India. And then, we are also taking the help of our IT department, where we have, integrated the entire statistics with the IT department of the state of Himachal Pradesh. And anybody, the department of IT on our, they can always have a look of all kind of statistics available on that, sir.
Thank you. As we, whenever we avail a service from government, or even that to large extent to the private sector, we have to establish our identity. And Aadhaar has solved this personal identity problem to a large extent, but in educational system, when a person moves from one educational institution to another, or maybe to higher educational institution, and subsequently to employment, the students as well as any person is required to establish its identity, particularly with regard to the educational record, which has not only increased, which has a tremendous impact in terms of time and money spent, but creates an inconvenience to the citizens also. So to address this problem, APAR ID has been introduced, and now I would like to request Shri Debabrata Nayak, CTO Digital India Corporation, to talk about APAR ID and its journey.
Good afternoon. So there is the two question to all of you. Are you holding your data? घर का सब में एक briefcase है. We hold that also. It's the family briefcase. All data are there. Means our certificates are there. But do you have any digital data? You are holding it. You control it. Google is controlling us. But do you control your own data? How many of you control your own data? Okay. So do you have any DigiLocker to have accounts? Anybody having DigiLocker accounts? Are you controlling your data there, or it's a wallet only? What you see as a part of your wallet? It's a wallet for you, but I am telling you, all of you, every day 2 lakhs records are coming to us from the education itself, and 1 lakh records every day shared by the students to the different places. It's happening right now, every day, And I don't know that how many of you know that we hold 1 billion educational records for the National Academic Depository and around 30 crores APAR right now. But coming to APAR, let me tell you a story, very simple story. When I being given charge that, okay, you have to build a DigiLocker, even I don't know what to build, frankly speaking, in the 2015. Then I thought it is a Google Drive, I'm competing with it. Then why that I will be competing with the Google Drive? You can't, in the government, you can't compete with the Google Drive. I think it is all of you, the startups and everybody should learn that. What I learn in between, that how to find a one customer first. The first customer who will be grow my digital presence or the product to ride on. In 2015, somewhere in the March, there's the education, the result being declared that we approach CBSE. Now it is a fight in between my team also. Whether we will build a CBSE result publication and the result will come to the DigiLocker and the student will get their first digital documents. We approach CBSE. Much having a good pursuance, they agreed that, okay, they will publish the DigiLocker as a part of students' mark sheet. In the first time, they will issue a digital mark sheets. That is the game changer. I will say from myself that for the DigiLocker as a part to grow with the students every year. And we acquire more than almost some crores of students every year right now. And almost 50% of the users are students only. 11 years right now, we are around 70 crores user base. Per users cost us around 10 paisa for keeping their own records. We have not charged single penny to the educational departments. But look at the growth of the DigiLocker right now. You as a student, you are having a APAR ID, you are having a Aadhaar ID, you are having a driving license, you are having a PAN, and you have in the class 10 mark sheet, and you are having the class 12 mark sheets. All are with you right now. Someday that story starts that somebody in the Singapore asks, okay, open your DigiLocker, give me your mark sheet from, show me your mark sheet from there. And recently somebody in the Toronto asked, open your DigiLocker, show your digital ID, driving license. Now the think about, we are now into the international because that everybody understands the value of a digital data and how the digital data is coming through and how it is being trusted. Even if you show your physical documents, it does not give you a value. But now that the understand the digital chain, it's a value right now. So that's why the first question was, how you are controlling data. Luckily for us, we are being into the middle of the DPDP, and the DPDP says, you will have to control the data, not the departments. So as a citizen, just think about it. You are controlling your data, and you will share your data, and everybody will take the data as a digital trusted data. So starting with the APAR now, continuing as a, that how that APAR has been grown. I think that just see that what we started as a part of Jan Dhan accounts, just to link it into it, we reached to every board. It for us, we give that example was, we are being connecting to the certificate banks. That we say always that it is the certificate banks, we have been connecting, the students will be the core, and we open up a locker account for them. So that is where the DigiLocker accounts or bank account accounts, you link it in that way, that Aadhaar, bank account, and your bank. The similar way, just see that how the APAR, DigiLocker accounts as a bank account, and your banks is the repository of the students where the boards are issuing the mark sheets. So that is the journey you just see right now, but it's not mandatory. But some way I see that it's around 40 crores, more than 40 crores students are holding DigiLocker accounts. So just look at that journey right now. So they all almost hold 10th, 12th data as a part of CBSE and other boards right now. Now we start that again journey to the Academic Bank of Credits. Now the higher secondary boards and educations are coming up. So just look at that APAR like Aadhaar itself. So you can show your identity You can apply for any jobs. They can ask for your whole credential of the educational mark sheets and certificates. You can show from their DigiLocker accounts through your APAR. We are now providing the similar way of APIs to the educational institutions as a first. Then also we are being into something called, because of the DPDP, how that is the consent being taken and how the data to be shared. So yes, through the DigiLocker it's possible, but as a Aadhaar way of sharing your KYC is not possible right now, because most of the APAR holder does not have the mobile ID, but through DigiLocker we are providing the KYC itself. So the problem is very straightforward. Just to have a discussion in between the NTA DG, and also I am working for the UPSC also. So just see, as a students and the NTA also, you are being multiple exams, but the same students is giving multiple times over the documents, sir. It's again and again you are proving yourself. Okay, I am proving myself, or as a students, you are proving your, every time you are giving the documents. So one student said 3 to 4 times. Just see how many exams are happening in the country and how many times the students are giving the data. So if you look at the another way, if the student having a APAR ID and all the documents are linked all together, and only APAR ID like a KYC providing all the data in the consent, then job is done. So that is why that APAR ID plays a larger role in the educational ecosystems to the job, because you start with the education, but we are moving out, in and out of the educational systems. You also going for a job. So definitely that APAR ID will carry a value as a part how that other system will be integrated and how the students will get the value. So definitely that is the same way how the Aadhaar works. Look at the similar way APAR will work. Student have the APAR ID, student can move in and out of the organizations, sorry, schools, right, colleges, drop, then again join because of the new educational policies. That the similar way, just look at the other side, who are consuming the student data. Because most of the cases we see that the jobs and the education verification happen in between 18 age to 40 age. So then you are being much more stability in that part. But look at that scenario where that your all documents scattered around different educational institutions, right? Then you have to prove yourself again and again, and yeah, this is your mark sheet, this is your physical mark sheets, you prove again and again it is yours only. So that if you look at that whole APAR being seated with the educational mark sheet, the problem is over. I think that is where that all verifiers, if you are moving out of the country, definitely all are coming to us as a DigiLocker to get their data as a part of digital data, and they are sharing the digital way to the foreign universities. But look at the educational institutions around us, then also employers around us. So definitely they are having a value if you do look at that consumption of the APAR in the same way how the Aadhaar is happening. Definitely policymakers have a value as a part. I think that the previous two, Gujarat is the role model. I have seen the role models, and also the Himachal Pradesh also. So if the APAR is linked, then automatically they can see that how the students' records are moving around in the schools and how the performance they are being into it. And definitely that is one of the use case. Not only one use case. I think more use cases will definitely coming up. How you can look at the student performance, how also that you can give him the best advice as a part through the AI or the personal assistant to the teachers, how they will guide the students, where they have to work hard or they have to guide them as a part of which subject they will do better. I think these are the building blocks. If you look at that for the, I think it is a great partnerships with the Digital India Corporation and the education ministries. We did Diksha for them, that is what that we are being into it, right? Then we build the academic bank of credit for them. Then where that we started in the 2021 APAR, ABC ID came first, then we changed the name to the APAR right now, and DigiLocker and NAD plays a vital role, where the NAD we are keeping around 1 billion records right now, then the DigiLocker around more than 40 crore plus students ID, so that linked together as a part. Then that APAR come around 2024, that's why that now the APAR is now linking all together the whole ecosystems. So this is the statistics as a part. APAR is being created around 30.47 crore and 26.64 crores, I think, being Aadhaar verified. 3,391 awarding institutions being linked to the NAD and ABC platforms. Then around all boards, because recent times we working for them for almost 10 years in the DigiLocker and the parts. I think almost all boards we are being connected right now, and almost 2 lakh daily data inputs into the educational systems, and 1 lakh is going for the verifications. We are in the number 4, I think Aadhaar, driving license, PAN, then the educational records shared across different service providers to get some services right now. And I think mostly what is happening right now is, yes, most of the data is going to third-party service providers. Third-party service provider means you always your consent, because you are giving the data through the DigiLockers. It is a similar way that how the payment gateway works, similar way DigiLocker works. It's not that I am giving the data, rather than you are giving the data as a part of sharing your personal records with the third parties like Zerodha, ICICI Bank, and loans. So lots of things is happening around the DigiLocker and the ecosystems right now. So definitely, if you look at that APAR, because we are being into the position tracker, and where that APAR is being created for the early childhood as a part, when the children is 5 years, that time with the parental consent as a part, they are being creating the APAR. That APAR Pro starts from the class 5th. Then we are being into the through the UDICE also, that is being APAR ID is being created. Then higher education we are being through the ABC as a part. Yeah. I think if you look at the APAR in the horizontal scale, I think APAR being created is one aspect, but APAR based data creation is much more important to all of us to look at the way that whole educational ecosystem should work. Because that will not happen, then that is why that APAR will be only ID, that will never work until unless you are being not sitting with the all educational data, skill data as a part. So that is where that educational ministry and we as a part, that we are working together as a part, how that one is the easy for the APAR creation, then APAR ID linking with the educational record should happen. So that is one that work is going on. I think it's a great progress as a part of the APAR. I think 2024 we started, but not in the mandatory right now, but it's working fine right as a part. So similar way that how you looked at the Aadhaar as a part, now you looked at the APAR in a way. Then definitely we created APAR because of the Aadhaar restrictions, but some way it should be inclusive, then portable as a part, trusted as a part, how that you control your data and you are giving or you are sharing your data to the others. That is why that we are now talking about internationalization of the data sharing, when the people, as the students moving India to other countries, how that data can be verifiable and you control your data rather than we as a government should know where you are giving the data. That is why the new term is coming up in the standard, is the verifiable credential. That is one of the terms where that you can present like a API and your data can be verified, can be shared, so that your mobile and the other side will be know, not the backend as a part of the API should know. So we are now talking about API-less web integration, the privacy data also. So again, that for the AIs and others to take that intelligent layer. Thank you.
धन्यवाद देवव्रत जी। अब मैं अनुरोध करूंगा विकास अग्रवाल पार्टनर EY से, जो दीक्षा के बारे में बात करें। जो दीक्षा, जैसा हम सभी जानते हैं, वन नेशन वन डिजिटल प्लेटफॉर्म फॉर एजुकेशन है। वो किस तरह से लर्नर्स की लर्निंग आउटकम में हेल्प कर रहा है, किस तरह से लर्नर्स को एम्पावर कर रहा है। आई विल लाइक टू रिक्वेस्ट मिस्टर अग्रवाल टू टॉक अबाउट दैट।
थैंक यू सर। Good afternoon and namaste. Before I start, I must thank Ministry of Education, Government of India, DRPG, Government of India and Government of Rajasthan to invite me to join this esteemed panel. If we look at ages, if we go centuries back, Shiksha and Diksha have been part of our culture forever. And Shiksha and Diksha were both our enablers in terms of social equity and also in the economy. And also Diksha was part of our spiritual culture. But here, when we talk about Diksha, It is nothing to do with spiritual. It's more about everyday on-ground education that we impart through our schooling system. So the acronym stands for Digital Infrastructure for Knowledge Sharing. It is India's own DPI. So we have created this infrastructure for ourselves, an ecosystem ourselves, which we're offering to the countries around the world. It is totally homegrown. It works on web, it works on Android, it works on iOS. The idea is to have maximum reach. Can each and every student be enabled through this learning process, through this learning ecosystem? Can each and every teacher be enabled further to excel into what they do, teach, and tell us, solve our inquiries, solve our, help us in learning. If you see the ecosystem, if you look towards the left, I know it's a very busy slide, typical consulting kind of slide, so bear with me. So if you look towards the left, the ecosystem comprises of students, teachers, school leaders, administrators, and parents. So each and every of these stakeholders have a role to play in a child's education, an education which is meaningful, an education that leads to gainful employability by imparting the rudiments of what we need to learn. If I talk in terms of the components, if you see, Diksha started from energized textbooks. So it was about the physical textbooks being used in schools used to have a QR code. A student or a teacher could scan the QR code and using that go to curated content on the web. So additional content, additional videos used to come through. So we have covered a long journey from the early days of Diksha. So today Diksha comprises of digital content. It has AI-powered learning support. TPD is one of the mainstays of Diksha, teacher professional development. To my mind, TPD brings two connotations. One, the mandatory hours a teacher needs to do as TPD. So maybe it's a statutory requirement, teachers need to upgrade themselves, but also brings to fore a very, very important aspect. Today, as a teacher, I may or may not be comfortable asking a question. I may think I'm supposed to be the teacher. Can I tell someone there's something more I need to learn? There's something more I need to gain? So Diksha takes that hesitation away. A teacher in his own comfort, in her own comfort zone, on a laptop, on a mobile, can understand deeper about the topics of interest to him or her, the topics or subjects that he or she teaches. They can go deeper, they can understand, they can check their own knowledge, how deep and how wide it is, and they can upgrade themselves. So there's no hesitation. It's about going, learning. So before you teach, you learn yourself or you upgrade yourself where you stand. So that becomes a mechanism over there. If you look towards the right, it talks about the federated structure that Diksha has. So while it's a platform enabled by, empowered by, facilitated by Ministry of Education, Government of India, it has a very much a federal structure. So platform is common, but each state has its own role to play, depending on what curriculum nuances are there, depending on what subjects are there, depending on languages. States can enable their own content, they can enable their own learning programs. So each and every component of our physical education system has a role to play in this technologies ecosystem also. So we have MOE, NCERT, states, SCRT, DIETs at district level, going to block level, cluster level, and school level. So each stakeholder maintains its own position in the ecosystem and moves from a physical world to a digital world. So Diksha is not actually a replacement of a classroom teaching. It's an aid, it complements and it supplements what is being taught in the class. So it somehow ignites a child's imagination that, okay, in the school, I've learned something from my teacher. Probably I understood something, I want to know more. Or probably I didn't understand it as well. Can I get some more help on my own? Would my parents come to know? And can they assist me what I'm learning over there? So this Diksha enables some of those things. In terms of, in principle, Diksha strictly follows what NEP 2020 says. It is enabling Nipun Bharat, FLN, at early levels of education. As I mentioned, teachers can do their TPD Nishtha 50 hours program over there. And one very good aspect over there is Diksha today has Indian Sign Language videos. So we don't only have sign language videos, it's ISL videos. So students with special needs who need to learn through sign language, Diksha enables that. And of course, through Diksha as a platform, since it's technology enabled, a lot of analytics go into that, a lot of technology goes into that. We can track what's happening. We can go up to student level, and I'll explain how. Before I move on, again, something which I must do as a consultant, talk about some figures, talk about some numbers. So today, we have 2.25 CR registered users. The usage, daily average usage goes ups and down. So depending on what month of the year is, what day of the week is, the learning, the students and teachers who log in the activity goes up and down. So if we look at average activity in the month of June, it was around almost 3.2 lakhs daily active users. We have more than 7,500 energized textbooks spanning from books from NCERT to SCERTs and other sources. So it's not only NCERT, it's a state level courses also mapped over there. The courses are live, certificates have been issued, 560 crores learning sessions have taken place on the platform. So the platform is enormous, it carries tremendous potential, and a lot of resources, a lot of effort is being dedicated to it by the government of India. If you look at learning modules, which go into the learning sessions, more than 6,000 crore learning sessions are there. They are virtual labs. The schools where labs do not exist, or probably labs are there, but students are looking for more, teachers are looking for more equipment, more knowledge. The virtual labs are there, which are sort of, I won't say exact replacement, but I'll say 80 to 90% things which we do in physical labs can be done in virtual labs also. And then we have PAL content. I'll talk more about that. If I talk about Diksha's journey in terms of technology, it started as open source software, starting with energized textbooks, as I mentioned, textbooks on which there used to be a QR code. You scan the code using your camera and you go to web and you get additional content, not any content or every content, you get curated content, the content which your teacher, which your school, which your SCRT, which NCRT would like you to go through. So it's additional content which is very well controlled, very well curated. The next enhancement came in by integration of DigiLocker, Google Classroom and CollabGeo. CollabGeo is a geometric tool made by NIC, which students and teachers use. So that was next level integration, and it started going upwards from there. Third integration came in terms of Bhashini, which was AI-powered language. So it brought in the feature of being able to work on Diksha, to use Diksha in vernacular, and today it has 22 Indian languages in which students can learn. Then came in smart video key search. So if a student has a video and he or she doesn't want to go through the entire one, especially for teachers, and they want to go to exact instance where that keyword occurs in that video, or maybe I believe I know the initial part, but I want to understand more about, let's say, photosynthesis. I know it happens in trees, leaves, but I want to know exact chemical reaction that happens. So by putting a word, I can do video key search and fast forward to that and start learning from there. So a lot of technology was brought in over there. Couple of years back, apart from having this energized textbooks and this live courses, videos, audios, LMS was added, which is Moodle based. Now today, when a teacher or a student logs in, there are two applications working at the back. So there's an application, the original open source platform, and there's a Moodle based LMS, which also works at the back end over there, depending on what you want to do. So when a teacher wants to do, let's say, courses under Nishtha, the teacher gets transferred to LMS and the courses can be done over there. When a student wants to do additional content reading, the student uses the first app, the ETB, but when a student enters the world of PAL, it comes into LMS. So it's a sort of, seamless transition. You just log in and it app takes you over there. And of course, a lot of AI is being added. I'll explain a bit in detail. If you look at the AI features in Diksha, so AI has become very pervasive word. We all talk about AI. Today we got those, robotic vacuum cleaners. They say that's a robotic AI home cleaner. People say elevator is AI enabled. So much abused word. But here AI means what can we do meaningful. So it's about, can I chat with the books? So using using GPT-4o Mini. So that feature has been added, wherein we can do discovery, we can do classification, lesson planning, using the RAG ability of AI. We can do read aloud, text to speech. If students or teachers want to hear in their own language using Bhashini, they can do that. As I mentioned, the keyword search, and there's an AI-based translation. So whatever is there, content is there, can be translated using Bhashini into 22 languages. Personal adaptive learning, Rajesh sir talked about it, Ranjeeth sir talked about it. So Diksha is moving on to the PAL world. Currently, PAL is enabled for standards 9th and 10th for science and mathematics. In English language, it's about when a teacher teaches a class, probably a teacher is able to see out of 40 students or 50 students in a class, who is grasping, who is not. But can teacher pay individual attention to each and every? Probably teacher wants to, but can't. There's a paucity of time, paucity of resources over there. This is where technology comes in. Using technology, can we try to understand each and every student's grasping power, where that student is going in that course, in that curriculum, which concepts he or she is able to grasp or unable to grasp, how do we improve, what additional support they need. This is where technology comes in. So today, Diksha hosts PAL, students enter over there, they start with a very basic rudimentary assessment, is self-assessment. Again, it also brings in, an element of anonymity over there. So if a student is hesitant to be, called out as someone who's not able to understand, there's no need to be hesitant about that. It's a technology interface, so totally impersonal. There's no human sitting on the other side to judge you. And quickly, then you start understanding what you want to do, and PAL gives you the learning paths over there. Finally, just some snippets in terms of how PAL works in Diksha. So there's a podcast, AI talking to AI, and you can intervene. So two voice bots talking to each other, and you can say, no, I want to know more about that. So the voice bots start talking to you and becomes a conversational podcast. There are chapter summaries, and you can check your knowledge. I'll take a pause here, and thank you so much.
Thanks, Vikas ji. Diksha is an example where technology just not become a content delivery tool. Rather than it becomes a partner in improving the learning outcomes, helping children attaining or a student attaining the educational goals. Finally, I would like to invite a final small presentation on Kendriya Vidyalaya school system. How is it using technology, AI, in ensuring the educational outcome across the length and breadth of the country. Manoj Pandey, Assistant Commissioner, will talk briefly about KVS system. Manoj, try to finish it in 5 minutes.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for inviting me in this national conference on e-governance. Kendriya Vidyalaya Sangathan, where India lives in classrooms. We are from Kutch to Kohima, from Kanyakumari to Kashmir. Everywhere we live, our classrooms is a mini India where the children from different languages study in the classrooms. About 50 to 60% children are there in the classrooms which are from different languages, from different regions. So Kendriya Vidyalaya, a system of education under central government of India, where quality education is provided at very low cost or no cost. Here we can see the scale and diversity of Kendriya Vidyalaya Sangathan. There are 1,336 schools in India, and we are catering to the need of 13.91 lakh students. We are having 56 lakh teaching and non-teaching staff in the whole country. We are covering all 37 states and UTs in India, as well as we are also having Kendriya Vidyalayas in 3 foreign countries, Moscow, one is Moscow, and Tehran and Kathmandu. We serve to the need of children from different languages, including all 22 Indian languages and 4 foreign languages. How the KVS digital ecosystem is working, this is the complete picture of the whole system in which we are working. Initially, we were having system which work in silos. So we started the journey just 1 year back under the guidance of Commissioner KVS. We are coming together all those systems into one place so that we can integrate the system and can access the information for the fruitful result. Here you can see we are having different modules. The whole system is known as the Samagam, where things come together and meet at one place. This is the KVS indigenous 360-degree digital ecosystem, where we start from admission to graduating for the children. We start from onboarding to retirement for the employees. Here in the systems, we are having all in-house developed applications, and we are ensuring the security of our data at each level. Here, in student management systems, we are having admissions, results, assessment, online TC generation, sports management, online attendance systems. Everything is there about the children's. For the parents or for the community, we are having different portals, and all those portals are integrated with this Samagam systems. For the staff, we are having online APR system, staff sanctioning system, attendance system, continuous professional development tracking and training modules, etc. For the employees also, we are having vigilance tracking system, online transfer module, grievance tracking system, and court case tracking systems also. For the construction and maintenance and repair, we are developing one system, that is M&R management system, through which we can track the construction activities at each level, as well as the maintenance going on in the Vidyalaya system. So what is the status of the Vidyalaya building is there. So for financial management, we are also developing asset tracking system, fee collection system. We are also already having fee collection system through online mode, but we are making it, we are upgrading it to the next level. We are also developing online audit systems, and the salary of the contractual staff linked with the attendance system. So these systems are working together. And this whole system is connected with the Vidya Samiksha Kendra of Kendriya Vidyalaya Sangathan. That is the AI-enabled in-house developed Vidya Samiksha Kendra, in which whole Vidyalaya infrastructure, attendance system, student performance, PM3 progress tracking, these 4 modules we have indicated till date. And through this, we are able to identify the infrastructure gap as well as the learning gaps to the system. So this whole system is based on the 5 pillars. That is access and infrastructure, first one, learning content and pedagogy, assessment and outcomes, administrative and governance, and then parental and community engagement. So about the digital access and infrastructures, we are having 73,777 computers in all classroom, on an average 60 plus computers in each and every Kendriya Vidyalaya. The student computer ratio is 18:1. Means for one computer serves to the need of 18 children. In smart classrooms, we are having 38,709 e-classrooms against 31,577 physical classrooms. We are also having e-classrooms in libraries, laboratories, conference hall, etc. About the internet connectivity, except some newly opened Kendriya Vidyalayas, we are having saturated internet connectivity in all the Kendriya Vidyalayas, as well as we are having 98% websites in all Kendriya Vidyalayas. Some new open Kendriya Vidyalayas, the website is undergone. So we are near to saturation about the digital access and infrastructure. About the content and pedagogy, we are having our own eVidya channel, that is the channel number 16, through which all KVS specific e-content can be accessed from anywhere, anytime by the students. We are having our own e-content repository through which we can access the whole e-content developed by our own teachers. That content is available for the children as well as for the teachers also, other teachers also. For the capacity building program, we have conducted the training for 76,000 plus teachers, staff. Means one or more teachers have been engaged in more than one trainings also. For the tracking of their training, we are having the CP tracking system through which we can track how many teachers have completed their CPD courses or not, so that the timely intervention can be possible. About the assessment and learning, we are having our own KVS assessment and evaluation system modules under Samagam portal, through which each and every exam conducted at school level, we can track the performance of the children. For the competency-based testing, as the CBSE has introduced 50% competency-based question from class in secondary classes, in 10th and 12th especially. So we have made a special portal for competency-based testing, through which we can test the child competency, and it is also a self-based portal through which the child can enter into the system and give the examination as per the need. Next is the KVS LAT system, that is the learner achievement test, through which we can test the learning level of the children in online mode. And these all systems are connected with the Vidya Samiksha Kendra. Yeah. And next, about the administration, we are having Samita Sathi portal, that is for the hiring of contractual staff, through which 15,400, 345 staff have been engaged that belong to teaching and non-teaching both. And for PM3 tracking also, we are having own e-platform through which we can track. For pension system, we are having e-pension portal. For employees, EHRMS portal through which leave, etc. we can track here. And about the parent and community engagement, because it is the important pillar between the school and children, that is the parent. So for parent, we are having Parent Connect app through which we provide each and every information to the parent. And for alumni, we are developing Alumni 2.0, through which alumni can interact with each other in their group as well as in the public group on the platform. So these are the digital intervention of KVS to enhance the access and quality in school education. Thank you. Jai Hind.
Thank you, Manoj. So we have heard different journeys towards a shared goal and common goal, that is better access and better quality in education to our children, to our citizens. Now floor is open for the questions from panelists.
Good afternoon, sir. I'm Dr. Tushaba Shinde, Director, DRP. Sir, in the education system, there is no doubt that KV is doing the marvelous job. But sir, nowadays the number of schools in the rural areas are going down and number of private schools are rising. And our population is at a very high number in that. So what is the reason and what we can do? Thank you, sir.
I will ask my colleagues from the states, Himachal or Gujarat to answer.
Thank you. This is a very pertinent questions. I was talking about Himachal and we have 15% private school catering to the need of 40% of students. That means the rest of 85% of the government schools just cater to the need of 50 to 60%. That's the scenario of the state of Himachal, but that's across the country. So, you know, when we were figuring out what is the reason, as you have asked, I mean, that can be the aspirations of the parents, because aspiration of the parents is to send the schools to send the students or their kids to the private school from the perspective that they have a better resources, they have a better teachers, or they have a, you know, the kind of uniforms they are sent with the ties and all. And that's the scenario. But then that's not the case. That's not the case because, you know, we in Himachal, as we tried, you know, when we were figuring out that what is the reason for this, there may be aspirations of parents which must have sent these students to the private school. But when Vidya Smiksha Kendra came, and we were actually trying to dig out probably the reasons for this, the reasons are different. The reasons are, we have a better teachers in the sense that, you know, PTR is better in the government school than the private school when it comes to the state of Himachal. I can't say it for other states. We talk about their kind of, you know, the educational qualification and the entrance to the government service. So private school, they don't meet those kind of standard. As I'm not talking of those Nami Grami schools of India, so-and-so schools, but I'm talking of those shops which have come and taken our government school students to the private institutions. So we have to be really careful. We really need to do a lot of advocacy. PM Shri came to all the state and it has made a lot of difference. You know, the PM Shri school, the government school across the state where now the private school students have started coming back. But it is the aspirations of the parents which made them to leave the government school in favor of a private school. What all we can do from the government perspective, that is critical and important.
One thing I will like to add, being commissioner of Kendriya Vidyalaya Sangathan, this is also a public school education system in the country, But if I see the demand for admission in Kendriya Vidyalaya is far, far like more than even best of the private schools. On average, for 40 openings in Balvatika or class 1, we receive around 2,000 to 3,000 applications. So it depends on the quality of education. Infrastructure also comes important, but the actual learning which is taking place in that particular school and classroom.
Actually, generally, physical infrastructure and the quality of education. Slowly, all the government schools are improving their physical infrastructure. In the quality point of view, we have been monitoring through BRCs and CRCs. We are focusing the learning outcomes. Previously, the report cards were simple. Now we are giving the holistic progress cards. So the parents can see the various learning outcomes of the students. So after the introduction of PM Shri schools, many parents are bringing back their students from private schools to government schools. Every district, every location, every region may not be having the same resources because the shortage of teachers and other things. That's why these G-Shala and the learning management systems, these portals are coming into picture so that the quality of teaching, that audio, videos, 3D animations, that quality of teaching would reach to the nook and corner of the state. This way, we are ensuring the quality.
सर नमस्कार, मेरा नाम विजय प्रकाश है सर। मैं सूचना प्रौद्योगिकी विभाग राजस्थान सरकार में हूँ। क्योंकि मैं भी केवी से पढ़ा हूँ, मेरे परिवार में भी सभी वाइफ भी केवी में ही हैं। तो मेरा प्रश्न सर कमिश्नर केवीएस से है कि एक ये ऑब्जर्वेशन है सर कि बहुत सारी पोर्टल्स जो हैं वो टीचर्स को मैनेज करनी पड़ती है, डेटा मैनेजमेंट करना होता है, कुछ एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव कंप्लायंस करनी होती है। तो पॉसिबली जो उनका जो कोर काम है टीचिंग, वो कहीं ना कहीं मे बी शायद अफेक्ट होता है। तो इसको आप कैसे देखते हैं कि कैसे हम उस जो बर्डन है उसको थोड़ा सा हम कम करें कि वो अपने कोर काम की तरफ बढ़ सके?
मुझे लगता है कि आपकी स्पाउस केवीएस में है।
ऑब्वियसली सर। तो जैसे
So I am right.
जी सर, मैं एक प्रश्न जो ऑल्दो सर ने बताया अभी कि समागम पोर्टल से काफी कुछ यूनिफिकेशन किया है, एक जगह लाए हैं, फिर भी और क्या प्रयास हैं? दूसरा प्रश्न सर मैं साथ में, और नायक सर पॉसिबली आंसर कर पाएंगे कि स्टूडेंट्स के लिए भी अगर कोई ऐसी पोर्टल होती तो उसके बारे में डिजिटल इंडिया में क्या काम हो रहा है? बिकॉज पीआर या एबीसी आईडी ये सब हमने बनाए हैं, लेकिन स्टूडेंट के पास कोई ऐसा पोर्टल इंटरफेस नहीं है जहाँ पे वो ये देख सके कि उसकी जो एकेडमिक जर्नी है उसका गवर्नमेंट के पास क्या रिकॉर्ड है, चाहे वो कहीं भी पढ़ा हुआ हो। मे बी केवी ने अपना एक SIS बनाया है, लेकिन जो कहीं भी पढ़ रहा हो, मे बी बाद में वेटिंग के लिए या रिक्रूटमेंट पर्पज से उसको यूज किया जा सके। तो सर दो प्रश्न थे। थैंक यू
सर। आई वांट टू ऐड वन पॉइंट सर। Actually, regarding the individual's achievements and the performance of the each and every students, that's why this e-content and LMS, learning management system, comes into picture. As I told you, G-Shala, each and every student, they are having their own accounts. As I mentioned, 32 lakhs and above students are enrolled. Initially, we had the CTS, child tracking system. That number was there. Now we are slowly replacing it with the APAR ID. So with that ID, each and every student are having their own LMS. They can do self-study, self-assessment. They can see their outcomes. So this way, already the system is there.
It's a very top question to answer as a part of aggregation. It's a top as a part why I see that for the last 11 years, I say to everybody as a part of the India is what is for me and what I want. That is the two different things if you look at, and yeah. And if you look at that in India as a policy, as a part of is there any policy that anybody, as any department, all of you are in the government departments, if I ask the many as a part of the states, I move around and ask them, okay, can you give the document to the DigiLocker? You will say, no, I don't have a policy. Very simple. Look at the passport. We struggle for the last 11 years to get your own passport data. Right? So similar way, we approach the election commission. They say, oh, no, this is for this and passport for that. So that is what happening as a part. But I say always, give me my digital data. So similarly, it happens to as a student also. So one aspect is two very different areas not addressed. One is health, second is the education. If you look at the similar way that if your data as a student we capture from the class 1, only not every week by week assessment, not. It is only that annual or half yearly exams as a part. It's the similar way how the GSTN works. You upload your documents in the ID and it links to the performance of the students. And parents can see that the tools can look at and everybody can give them that where the students will do better and that, right? So one assessment of the class 1 to class 10 can happen and easily happen. Right. The only point here is willingness. Nothing as a part of that is not over here. So it is somewhere. It's missing across the states, across the India. And everybody is talking about data sharing as a part that I always say that where it is being written, who will share what to whom. That is 3 things people remember as that part. If it happens, then automatically the problem will be solved.
Thank you, sir.
Just Hari Kumar ji answer. Director DOCEL, Government of India.
Good afternoon. So I'll answer your question also on the point. I'm Hari Kumar, Director for Digital Education. So we actually went to a lot of schools across all the states. So there is one number which was sticking out from all the teachers. What percentage of the effort that you spend on admin work, what percentage of time you spend on teaching work? This was precisely your question, right? Now, if we go across any place, you ask private school, government aided, or other type of schools, the answer will be straightforward, 60%. We don't know in which WhatsApp group this got circulated. But across length and breadth, wherever you go, 60% will be the same. They'll say that we are spending 60% of the time for administration work. Now, actually, when you go there, we'll see, end of the day, right, we want to digitize. But how are we digitizing? We are digitizing in silos. Now, I create a system, and I say that, okay, enter all the data here. So they enter all the data. If teachers are not obedient, how will the students be? Now I create another system and I tell that enter all the data here. So I enter 20% of data here, 10% of the same data I enter into another system. Now there are 8 systems minimum in across all the states. There are few states where there are still not yet digitally mature. So now what we did was, as part of unifying all these things, we built a platform called SamarthX through Delhi University. We did a pilot in the state of Goa. So where this will become the single portal. Now, this might not be like one pill solves all the problem. There might be some additional data also. Now, if I want to give, for example, there are CBSE schools. So I am collecting 200 points as part of SamarthX. CBSE collecting 250 points. Only the 50 points will be entered by those schools in CBSE portal. The remaining 200 points will get transferred from SamarthX into CBSE portal through API. So this pilot is successfully going on in Goa. Soon we'll be leveraging this to all the other states. So that will actually solve the problem. So that will also bring back teachers to what they're supposed to do. I hope I've answered your question.
Excuse me, sir, can I have one small submission, sir? Sir, I'm Anand Swara from DARPG, sir. When we talk about digital intervention, so one perspective as a parent which comes to the fore is when we give tab to a daughter of mine, so the social media, how do you see, is it a menace or is it helpful in her growth academically and elsewise? Because there are countries which are banning it, and what our policymakers here see it.
Thank you, sir. So we will be having a security check for the later session. And thank you so much to all our experts. Any concluding remarks, sir, you'd like to add?
Since we are running short of the time, so what I will like to say about what have you said, as we all know, ati sarvatra varje. So excess of anything is bad. So we should be using social media, but to what extent, to what, that's to be decided by our own. I would like to thank all the panelists, my co-speakers, for giving interesting insights on various aspects of education, and particularly regarding to digital intervention. All of them have spoken about different aspects, from identity to classroom delivery to the management and administration of schools, which is very relevant for people like us. All these gives a 360-degree picture of digital interventions. So I am hopeful that all these interventions are have helped us in having better understanding towards improving our school education system, with particular goal of today's session is enhancing access and quality. Thank you very much, and thank you to all for listening patiently. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. I thank all our experts, and I would like to request Dr. Tushaba Shinde, sir, to please join us on stage, Director, DARPG, to felicitate our experts, our plenary session panelists. We would like to present this memento to Shri Vikas Gupta, our chair for the plenary session. Thank you, sir. This is a token of remembrance for the NCeG 2026. Thanking for your contribution. Shri Debabrata Nayak. Audience, do continue to show your enthusiasm and appreciation for each of the experts. These are our brilliant minds, the policy makers who add to the ideas. Shri Ranjeethkumar sir, Shri Ranjeethkumar sir, Shri Rajesh Sharma, Shri Vikas Aggarwal. I thank all our experts once again, Shri Vikas Gupta, Shri Debabrata Nayak sir, Shri Ranjeethkumar sir, Shri Rajesh Sharma, and Shri Vikas Aggarwal sir, and I request you to kindly step forward for a group photograph. Thank you, Dr. Shinde sir, for presenting these mementos. And as you're all aware, post-lunch we have the national awards, the valedictory session